فهذا هو شأن اليهود، فلا ترحموا اليهود في أي موقع كان وفي أي موطن. قاتلوهم أينما كنتم، حيثما ثقفتموهم فاقتلوهم، أينما تكونون فاقتلوا أولئك اليهود ومن لف لفهم من الأمريكان ومن وقف معهم، فإنهم جميعا في خندق.
The Palestinian Authority is transmitting a message to the younger generation. The goal of life is death. A veritable propaganda strategy is being implemented by the Palestinian authorities, directly aimed at motivating the hearts and minds of young children. They are urged to take part willingly in terrorist acts. Children are instructed, throw down your toys and replace them with rocks.
مش رح تسلم يا صهيوني من بركان أحجار بلادي، مش رح تسلم يا صهيوني من بركان أحجار بلادي. انت الهدف قبال عيوني وأهلا ومرحب باستشهادي.
The goal of this training is to program the children to be ready and willing to murder and kill of their own free will, even if it means that they themselves will die. The Palestinian Authority-administered educational system gives Palestinian children formal classes on the best ways to kill Israelis. The deliberate incitement of the children has gradually lost all restraints. The incitement reaches each household through television and radio spots. It permeates the schools, and the textbooks are riddled with teachings of hate. Teaching children to hate inundates them from all directions. Cartoons and caricatures in children's magazines and newspapers remind them to throw stones. Photographs of child shahidim or martyrs adorn every wall.
برافو 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 برافو. شبر فيك عني رويت من كل دم.
Every Palestinian has been exposed to inhumane propaganda over the past few years, with the primary message being, kill Jews wherever you can. This message is not limited to the realm of the extremists, but rather is open policy. This is a gradual poisoning of the minds of the public, drop by dangerous drop. But worst of all is the manipulation of the children, from toddlers to university students.
يا جماهيرنا الفلسطينية في كل مكان، يا جماهيرنا الفلسطينية في كل أرجاء الوطن،
فاليهود هم اليهود، قاتلوهم أينما كنتم، حيثما ثقفتموهم فاقتلوهم، أينما تكونون فاقتلوا أولئك اليهود ومن لف لفهم من الأمريكان.
من وضع حزاما ناسفا على نفسه أو على أبنائه ودخل في أعماق اليهود.
استمرارية مسيرة الشهادة وانتفاضة الأقصى. صنعوا قنابل المولوتوف، خزنوا قنابل المولوتوف كما تخزنوا طعامكم وشرابكم.
The Palestinian Authority takes great care to get maximum publicity worldwide out of photographs of children wounded in violent demonstrations. But when we begin to ask why children were present at such demonstrations, a terrifying picture emerges. Children facing off with soldiers serves the ends of Palestinian propaganda. It always makes a good picture, especially when children are hurt or killed. Children are taught not to fear death, but to welcome it. Hard to believe, but such encouragement comes from parents as well. In order to encourage the children to commit suicide attack missions, an entire cult has emerged around each shaheed who died in the act of a terror attack.
إنما دفعني لهذا العمل هو ابتغاء مرضات الله عز وجل وانتقاما من أعداء البشرية اليهود وثأرا لأبنائهم.
Photographs of suicide bombers are front-page news on all newspapers. The funeral processions become glorious nationalistic spectacles. Thus, the figure of the suicide bomber is being restructured as a national saint, and children are called upon to follow the example. One of the campers, when asked if he wants to blow himself up as a suicide bomber,
we are teaching the children that suicide bombs is the only thing that makes the Israeli people very frightful. Furthermore, we are teaching them that we have the right to do it. Moreover, we are teaching them that after the suicide attacks, the man who makes it go to the highest state in paradise.
Palestinian psychologist Dr. Shafik Masalha conducted a study last year among Palestinian children aged 6 to 11. The most astonishing fact presented by Dr. Masalha was that more than 50% of children aged 6 to 11 dream of becoming suicide bombers who wear explosive belts. Dr. Masalha states that in about 10 years, a very murderous generation will come of age, full of hatred, and ready to die in suicide missions. In a society in which legitimization of child murderers becomes a part of its ideology, then normative human morality no longer exists. Which moral rules shall these children pass on to their children when they in turn become parents?
آكل لحم مغتصبي آكل لحم مغتصبي حذاري حذاري من جوع ومن غضب.
All of this has been orchestrated quite methodically by the Palestinian Authority, who, with malice aforethought and directed from above, have transformed children into political pawns. We must wonder what kind of government calls upon its citizens to become uncompromising killers, while presenting itself to the world as a victim striving only towards peace. This untenable hypocrisy should not be tolerated by enlightened civilization. Yet, this is the reality happening here and now, right under the noses and cameras of the international media, who are trying so valiantly to avoid facing the undeniable and disturbing fact. Irrevocable seeds of hatred have been planted into an entire generation.